Hello, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are at second cut silage. It is currently 10 to 8, so it was an early enough of a start. So I have the drone with me as well, but I don't know if I'll be able to fly it up or not for the baling or not, because it's a bit of a disaster at the moment. The rear lift on the 6280 is not working. It's not going up or down. The front loader is working, so we'll have that for stacking, because the silage we're going to is 2 fields, for one for a customer and the other one is our old contractor's field that he's renting. But I think the silage bales on that field he's selling to an ex-employee. So there's 2 fields to do in and around we'll say 20 or so acres in total. The 2 fields are roughly in the 10-acre region. One might be a bit more bigger than the other and whatnot, but it's in and around 20 acres. So me and the brother last night at around 7:30 or 7 o'clock yesterday evening, we got the 398 hooked up to the rake and it all greased up and ready to go. And the same with the baler. He has that all tuned up on the Maxim, the 5130, and he has that all greased up as well. So we're just ready to go now, head out the gate. Everything is done. He's just pumping the wheel on the baler and he'll be going soon. So I got to be making hayway now, because I'm the first man that has to be in the field to start the job before the brother, the baler man, can start. So I guess I'll head off now. We are here at field 1, and there's a surprisingly sort of decent crop, a middling crop, although it is second cut, so it's not going to be the best. Now the second field that we're going to, me and the brother went to it last night when we had all the gear tuned up and ready to go for this morning. We went back to the second field and it's quite a light crop over there, quite a light crop. And in these 2 fields there is a few soft patches. There's a soft patch just down below there somewhere. Every single year for second cut silage it's always soft when we have a nice amount of rain, which we had a nice amount of rain in the last week. This is about a 10-11 acre field, and this is for the customer, so I guess we'll get a start on it. The plan is then, once I finish raking, take off the rake off the 398 and then put the bale handler on it. I don't know, am I putting the single bale handler on it or the double bale handler? I'm not 100% sure on that. But the 6280, our old contractor, will probably be stuck in the customer's yard stacking, because the back lift on the 6280 is out of action. So yeah, I'll get the rake unfolded and make a start at it and see how we get on. First field done, now we're in the second field. Now this field is our old contractor's field, and I believe that he's given the bales to his ex-employee, his old employee. I think so, there was word of that, if I can remember. Now in the other field there was a few soft spots. There was 2 or 3 spots when the old contractor was mowing it that he left some trenches, but somehow got out of it. Now I avoided them. When I approached them I went around all them soft spots, but I made a few small ones of myself. There was 2 times I felt and seen the front wheels go down a small bit, so I put my foot on the brake, stuck into reverse and backed out and avoided that spot and went around. So yeah, now in this field it's also a very similar situation. You can see that we're sort of on top of a hill, so down that direction at the bottom of the hill, more in line around that area there, and I can see a bit just there, and there's a bit just there. I need to keep my eye out on that. Probably a lot of parts in this field that I will just have to avoid and miss, because there's no other choice. But yeah, this field has a slightly lesser crop than the first field I was in. Now in the other field I done a couple of headlands doing 3 swarts, raking in 3, but when I approached the softer ones I dropped down, the softer spots in that field I dropped down to 2, so I had each wheel on the tractor driving on top of a swart, just to give me that extra little bit more comfort, and you know, just to keep me on the ground rather than dig into the ground, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we'll see. And here has a lot of hills as well, and I do have to climb up some of them so I don't know how I'm going to get on here. All I know is that if this was last year when I had the International 584, there would have been no hope for it. Absolutely zero hope, because I have the chunkier wheels on this and the 4-wheel drive. So the plan is, we have a man coming to look at the back lift of the 6280. He has a bit of work done on it the last day or two, but he doesn't have it fully finished. Hopefully he might have it finished for today. If not, we'll put the single bale handler on the 398 when I finish raking, and then when the brother has finished baling, we will put the double bale handler on the Maxim, the 5130. So I'll have one and he'll be carrying two, and then our old contractor will be in the 6280 in the customer's farmyard, and he will stay there and stacking all day, and me and the brother will be drawing the bales to him, which is not too bad. So it took me about 2 hours to rake that last field. So you could always add on maybe an hour or double it for the brother to bale it. So it might take him 3 to 4 hours to bale the field. All going well, obviously. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well on his department. But anyways, I'll get the rake unfolded again and I'll get a start on it, and we'll see how we get on. Hopefully there will be no field casualties, tractor casualties getting stuck in the field today. But yeah, ideally I would like to rake up all the grass and leave no grass left behind, but in circumstances like these you just kind of have to. When the ground is too soft, you kind of have to avoid the soft spots and leave whatever grass is on the soft spots behind, which is what I've done in the customer's field as well. So yeah, enough talking. Very busy day today with a tractor down, so I get another start made. I have opted to rake in 2 swords at a time. Again, the same system as I had in the previous field. Each wheel of the tractor is driving on a sword, so I'm not driving in the same place our old contractor was driving when he was mowing. So I'm not doing any bogging, and I'm also creating a new track for the brother for when he comes baling, because where I'm driving now is on top of the swords. But once the rake rakes in them swords, it's leaving the exposed ground, but it's not mucky, because it's not the ground that the old contractor was driving on while mowing. And that way we're doing less travelling on the more softer ground, and that in turn means less bogging the ground. So I got the second field raked, and then just as I was finished the raking and cleaning the rake, the old contractor pulled up in his van and said to come back to his house for the tea. So I went back with the 398 and the rake, had the tea, and then I swapped over the rake for the single bale handler. And this is the first field that I raked and the first field that the brother baled. but because the 6280's back, the back lift arbs is out of action and is currently being fixed, I'm bringing the bales that's in this field up here, and hopefully the 6280 will be back in action from Monday, where we'll deliver these bales to the customer's farmyard. We have no way of stocking them at this very moment in time, so hopefully, fingers crossed, 6280 back in action for Monday. Now, while I'm doing this, the brother is baling in the other field, our old contractor's field, where the bales is going to his ex-employee, his old employee. So that old employee is over there drawing them bales back to his own yard. And we also have our New Holland man. He took our old contractor's 10x7 tractor tipping trailer, and he's a front loader on that, so he's loading the bales. He'll probably bring 4 or 5 bales on that trailer, and he'll deliver them to our old contractor's ex-employee's farmyard. The chances of me getting any drone footage or any footage at all of the baling is getting slimmer and slimmer, so that is quite unfortunate, but look, it is what it is. I didn't get much footage of the baling this year, but I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles at the end of the day. Is that in reverse? It is. I have nothing to do with it, so it's just a bit unfortunate, but that's just the farming life. Obviously farming has to come before the YouTube. I cannot be in the middle of a job and say stop, let me get my camera out so I can get a bit of footage. Farming comes first. So now if I get this finished in time, or I get a break, I can quickly run over to the field that he's in and throw up the drone and get some footage. But I don't think he'll be too long there. He'll be about 2.5 hours, 3 at a stretch, so he won't be too long. And in this field there's about 80 plus bales, so I'm drawing up 80 plus bales up to here. So then come Monday, all we have to do is drive in the gate, pick up and away and to the customer's yard, and hopefully, as I mentioned, the 6280 will be back in action. Also, it took me 1 hour and 47 minutes to rake this field, and the old contractor's field it took me 1.5 hours to rake. And the brother had this field baled by the time that I had my field, the second field raked. So I don't know how long it took him, but you know, he started not too far after me. He was well on my tail coming over the road to the field, so it didn't take him too long, I don't think. But anyways, I just thought I'd tell you that as well. of all the bales that was from that soft spot down below there. Don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can kind of see the brown tint. That was the softest sort of area in this field. And I've all the bales cleared off that, so I don't have to worry about down there anymore. Where I'm putting the bales now is starting to get that little bit muddy and boggy. But yeah, I have just this sort of corner area left, and I'd say there's about 25 to 30 bales, give or take, I would say. And it's also 3 o'clock, so the brother started baling the second field after he had the breakfast. So I think he started that at around 12:30. So it's 3 o'clock now, so he probably has it more or less it baled up. I haven't heard anything from anyone so far, though our old contractor popped by there for a minute to see how I was getting on. So everything is going so good so far, no complaints. Tipping along nicely and tripping away at the bales, getting them moved. So I don't know the story with the 6280. The buck that's fixing it, I don't know, is he there at the yard fixing it or not. I haven't heard anything in that department either, so I don't know what the story is Monday, whether or not the 6280 will be back in action or not. I don't know, but these bales will have to be moved out of this field at some point next week, because I think the weather is supposed to stay dry up until Monday, so we'd want to get these bales out while the weather is dry, before the wet weather comes back and disrupts everything. So again, I'll keep at this. I probably won't get any drone footage of the baling because it's most likely he is finished, but I might throw up the drone and just get a couple of drone perspective shots of me drawing the bales in this field. We'll see. so a little update. I got all them bales drawn in since 5 o'clock. I went and had a bite to eat, the dinner, and then when I came back, the old contractor came and picked me up to have the dinner. And then when I came back, just I was about to hop on the 398, the brother came with the Maxim and the double bale handler, and behind him was the old contractor's old employee who was taking the bales off the second field, the old contractor's field. And we're now drawing a few of these bales over to the customer's farmyard, and that will make it sort of a lighter workload for me come Monday, because we're bringing 4 bales at a time, the brother bringing 2, me bringing 1, and the ex-employee bringing 1 as well. So we're bringing 4 bales per run. And we got the lift working on the 6280 as well, and an old switch, a sensor or something within the tractor is a bit faulty, but the lift is going up and down. But come Monday, we're not going chancing drawing in bales with it. We'll probably leave the double bale handle on the Maxim, and I'll be driving that, and the old contractor will probably stay in the customer's yard, and he'll be spending the day stacking, and I'll be going over and back to the road drawn. So we want to get, while there's 4 bales going per run, we might as well keep going at this for as long as we can, and it'll just make my workload lighter Monday. But anyways, that is the end of today's video. There's not much more to do, just going over and back the road from the field to the yard, which is about 4 or 5 minutes from the field to the yard, and then another 4 or 5 from the yard back to the field. So about 8 to 10 minutes in total of road driving time. So yeah, and also I want to get this done as well before it gets too dark, because the lights on this tractor isn't the best. So yeah, second cut silage 25, or silage 25, over and out. Until next year maybe, we will see, but I didn't get any footage of the baling, drone footage, which is what I was hoping for, because by the time I had all these drawn in, the brother had finished up the baling a long time ago. But I did get some drone footage of me drawing in the bales through the field, which is not too bad, but I would have preferred to get some baling drone footage, because I didn't get much baling footage this year at all. But that's just how the cookie crumbles, and that's just the farming life for you. But anyways, I'll get back going drawn to the customer's yard. But for now, that's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.